we are giving away a professor's research. All you have to do to enter is like, comment, and subscribe, and we will be picking a winner on Saturday. We'll see you then. We have a lot to talk about today because the meta is finally here, and we can finally go over what the best decks are for you to play. I know the events are going to be coming up soon for Pokemon Pocket, and you guys want to be using the best decks, so let's go over what the meta is looking like. So in the tournament data right here, you know, Blaziken in cast form is very popular. That's one of the most popular decks in the metagame right now. Because it has been seeing a lot of early success in the beginning, and overall second place we have Hydreigon, then Magnezone, Lucario in fourth, and then different variations of a Mega Sceptile. So over the weekend, Pocket Mats had a crazy tournament where we could check out his metagame. So there's 500 plus people in this tournament, and you know, there are a lot of Hydreigon Mega Absols. So, you know, in this variant, people wanted to, like, come in full-fledged with, like, whatever was good in the last meta and be a little more safer and bring it here. So, it kind of does make sense. And then Lucario being the second represented. And then Mega Blaziken being the third. Fourth is Greninja, Altaria, and then other variants of Lucario, because the other Lucario was basically the tournament winner that we posted on the channel. It's the one with the Darkrai and the Igglybuff version. And then we have on fifth Greninja and Mega Absol. So, you know, those being the top 5 decks that were, you know, mostly represented. I think you guys are going to be surprised what won this event. And let's get into the decks. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to this deck right here. Honorable mention. It plays really well into the metagame, and I believe there are only a few people who played this in this tournament, but you know, I think it got up to like 44th, something like that. But like overall, this deck is super strong and plays well into the metagame right now. And you know, I feel like if more people were playing it in this tournament, when it has more representation, we would probably see very like good representation in like top cut or top 8. But like bounded field works really well with this deck because you have psychic and grass that you could take advantage of and just go nuclear on the board. Not to mention you could use Jolteon and Leafeon and maybe even Flareon. I haven't tested that yet, but that is something I will be testing pretty soon. But overall, you know, I like this deck. It plays really well. Indeed, he can punish Lucarios with 3 energies, and you know, using the field and basically doing 30 damage for each attachment. So you know, healing is always really supreme here. We do have Giant Cape, so we can make our, you know, Leafeon and Espeon go up to, you know, 160, a little bit of a safe range. You know, Lucario can knock out, you know, even if it has, you know, all 3 energies, which, you know, that does 140. So, you know, having red with the combination of bounded field, you could deal 200 on, you know, on fighting type Pokemon, Mega Lucario, and then the same amount for vice versa on dark Pokemon. So overall, really great synergy. You got the Teal Mask Ogerpon. You're gonna be seeing that a lot in this metagame because that Pokemon is really goated. There's a lot of sleep scam, poison, and burn damage going around in the metagame, and people are just sick of it. I'm sick of it. You're sick of it. But yeah, let's get into the next deck. So next up we have the Blaziken and cast form. So this variant cast form was brought into the metagame because, you know, stadiums are being played, they're more common, and you know, this deck definitely plays double stadium, Mesagoza, and hiking trail, all pieces that you could find Mega Blaziken. Mega Blaziken, you already know how it works, right? Power it up, a rare candy, and start swinging for 120, and then apply the burn. With Rocky Helmet, you could put Pokemon into that KO range, and you could additionally add another 20 once you burn your opponent with your cast form. So cast form's Sunny form is really good and has great synergy with this deck because the whole key is a burning. So you know, the status element of this deck is a lot of burns, so that's why you see a lot of what do you call it? That's why you see a lot of Ogerpon in the meta, even if, you know, people don't play it. Because we'll get to another reason why people are playing Ogerpon once we get to the grass type decks. But overall, strong representation, strong deck. It still plays really well. Could be Sceptile, which is gonna be popular pretty soon. So let's get into the next deck. And we have the Darkrai Igglybuff. Of course, tried and true, you know, sleep scam all the way. Just Igglybuff and Darkrai can literally win you the event if your opponents are basically, you know, unlucky and have an unlucky start. So, you know, overall, Mega Lucario, 3 energy doing 140 damage with the Karina and or the Stadium, just boosting his damage output to insane numbers, so you could close and win games faster. Not much to say about Lucario. It's a very fast hitting deck, and you know, fighting is finally being represented, and I'm here for it. Next up, we have Mega Altaria and Greninja. Yes, this deck is kind of the same, unfortunately, but you know, Lucky Egg is the new player here. So Lucky Egg is gonna help you get to your pieces, your Greninja pieces, and if you're missing the Altaria, it's gonna get you there. So one combination that is really nasty is Lucky Egg with Chingling, because like your Chingling is gonna be shutting off your opponent's, you know, item cards, and at the same time you threaten to draw 5 cards. So it allows you to play a little bit recklessly and, you know, just throw everything on the board. And you have Copycat as well too, so you know, everybody's playing Copycat in this format, right? So it allows you to play aggressively and just dump everything on the field, so your opponent won't get that much value on Copycat. So Lucky Egg is going to be one of those cards that could deter Copycat from your opponent and give you benefits. So Lucky Egg is definitely really good. Next up, we have a version of Mega Sceptile, and this version is playing Ogerpon. So, you know, this is going to utilize Formosa. Formosa is definitely there, so you can handle the Oricorios, or just like Cyrus in anything from the back row on the bench, so you could, you know, steal the game and win, you know, late game with Mega Sceptile. You do play the Ogerpon, so any of the damage by poison, burn, or sleep, you know, it could be like negated. And not only that, you could attack with Ogerpon. Now I want to talk about Fragrant Forest. So it allows you to search once per turn for a basic Pokemon, grass Pokemon. So it's like a free searcher. So this is why everybody's playing Ogerpon, because this stadium allows you to search your own Ogerpon. So overall, I think it's one of the best cards out there. Plus, Ogerpon makes Mega Sceptile only hit for 130 because poison does not become real. So rather unfortunate, but like I'm really glad that Ogerpon is definitely seeing its limelight right now. So overall, this is the Sceptile deck. Now we're gonna go into Hydreigon. So this deck right here didn't even make it to the finals, but you know, they're playing Bombardier. Bombardier is just insane for dark type Pokemon, you know, free retreat costs. So gone are the days starting with Mega Absol and being really like, you know, upset that you have to waste an energy to retreat. You could just retreat for free, and overall the deck plays the same as the others. Well, I can't say the others because this is not the Jellyfish version anymore, because they're not playing Hiking Trail or anything like that. This is more of the old school Rocky Helmet build. I don't know if you guys recall that, but you know, this version is really strong, and I do recommend you guys give this a shot. Definitely in the Emblem event, it will give you a lot of wins if you guys are stuck. Next up, we have the deck that came in 3rd place, which is a Dark Greninja. This deck got the massive buff because of Lucky Egg. Lucky Egg is just so amazing. Especially for a deck like this that requires Greninja in order to like get your gameplay off. So you could start doing 20 pings around the board, and you know, attach to Darkrai, and you know, to synergize with chip damage all over. Lucky Egg is just gonna be that boost that makes this deck even better, and arguably I feel like this is one of the best decks in the game right now, and I would recommend you guys, you know, play this, test it out, try it. I love this deck. But yeah, no, overall this deck is nasty, and if you aren't playing it, I don't know, you guys have to. In second place, we're playing Magnezone EX. So, of course, we're going to replace the other Mirror Shot Magnezone, because Magnezone EX is going to apply that extra 130, which is huge. You got Oricorios, definitely to stop, you know, Mega Sceptiles, Mega Blazikens, or any of the Mega variants that you see on the you know, metagame right now. Ogerpon to take field advantage of that field that they play, and you know, overall it just plays the same, has every Magnezone or Ori. So yeah, nah, there's not much to say about this. Magnezone, tried and true. It's always it's one of the most consistent decks out there. And we got the tournament winner. They are not playing Ogerpon. They are playing Kartana. Kartana dealing 40 damage to Oricorios. It's very like vital here. Or even knocking out any of the baby Pokemon. It's very necessary. And then we have Chingling into the mix with Mega Sceptile. And they're playing Growtile. Growtile, oh my god, Growtile just pops off 50 damage on the bench, so you can Cyrus something in and then knock it out with Mega Sceptile. Like, it's huge. It's huge because you're playing Pheromosa as well to do damage on the back row. And, you know, Rocky Helmet is also going to allow you to build additional damage, and you could even poison your Pokemon, opponent's Pokemon with Mega Sceptile. So overall, this deck has so much, you know, synergy with each other. It's insane. Shoutouts to C. Verum for winning this event with this deck. He's the GOAT. There's double Copycat, double Research, 1 Cyrus, 2 Candy, Research, I mean, not Research, X-Speed, Rocky Helmets, and 2 Fragrant Forests. But overall, this deck is the one that, you know, won the event. So be ready in the next couple of weeks, or next week, you're going to be seeing a lot of Sceptile on the ladder. So be ready with your fire decks, and we'll see you guys next time. Let me know what you guys are going to be playing in the upcoming format. Peace.